Hi guys, it's Amy and you have found Amy Loves Crochet. Thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate when you click on my videos. I've got a finished project this week to share with you and I'm super excited. It's meant to be a gift for somebody and I held off giving it to them so I could record this video, so that felt a little bit weird. My granddaughter's pre-K graduation was last night and it's a gift for her, and I wanted to bring it to the graduation. You know, so many people bring flowers and balloons and you see all these tiny little people with a cap and gown on. It was just too stinking cute. But I decided I really wanted to share the complete project with you in the video and not just refer to a picture. So I did not give it to her last night. So I'll see her in a couple of days and I'll give it to her then. But this was a great pattern to work on. I suggest it to anybody who wants to work on a low sew amigurumi. This was from Crochet with Kira and it's called a low sew horse. If you saw the thumbnail, obviously you saw the thumbnail. This is just chenille yarn from the Dollar Tree, $1.25 tree. It is a super bulky yarn, and there are 50 grams or 65 yards in each of these for $1.25. So I got 2 skeins of each of these colors last couple weeks ago. I don't know, maybe a month ago or so. I was with my granddaughter shopping. And so this colorway is called Iris. And then we had this other little light purple called Light Mauve. And then we got a white, and we got a pink and an aqua. You might have seen my video where I showed my little dinosaur that I made. This was super fun as well. My grandson, it was meant to be for my grandson, and he loved on it for a minute and then threw it across the room. So I don't know if he's gonna want to pick it back up or what when he comes back over next time. So we'll see. So this pattern was one that I changed up a little bit as I went. I guess I just show you. Look how super cute. The head's a little wonky. I don't know what to do differently. I sewed 2 rounds around, tried to make it really tight. I don't know what I'm missing there. I made a puppy for my grandson when he was being born, like around the time of his birth. And again, they had kind of a wonky head like that. So I put a collar. I added a collar. The project did not have one, and thought that that might help kind of, I don't know if hide is my right word, but help enhance the project since the neck was wonky. So I don't know what I can do to make the horsey head any more stable, but you do complete the arms and the legs and the ears separately. You make the body and then attach the legs and the arms as you go, I do believe. And then you sew the head onto the body. And so that was where I think I prefer projects where you make the head and then it goes down, you know, you decrease to get to the neck and then increase again to get to the body. I don't know. Sewing a head on is difficult for me and it's not great. So, so the other thing that I think I did a little bit differently, let's see, let's just go through it. Cute little nostrils, you just sew on with the same, or, you know, add on the same color and make little nostrils. She does come into the eye sockets and try to pull them together a little bit. This one, I can't tell if it really made a big difference when I did it with this one or not. The eyes are a little bit different than you might see. I know I showed you these before. They're like super tall, and you don't really have the opportunity to do the glint because the eye is so thick. The white just kind of maybe hides down beneath it a little bit. But they came with different color. See the sparkle? That's a little piece of paper that sits underneath the eye piece. The ears, I'm not 100% sure about either. When I hold them up a little bit more, it looks like a donkey. And so I'm not sure that the horse ears are like really reading horse to me. I did see a different project where they were sort of attached more like this. I thought that might have given it a different look, but I didn't see that until after I was complete with this one. When she does the little curly cues, I was not sure about these at all. This was the longest part of the project. The most fiddly, the most like, I'm not sure how this is going kind of thing, but that's really where I needed to trust the process because I think it looks super cute now. And I don't know if I would have done it differently. I mean, I already did it differently. So what she does is you attach the yarn at the top of the head, and then you do a chain, and then you do multiple single crochets into each stitch. So that's what makes the little curl. And so she did 3, 3, 3, and 3 for a total of 12. And when I started making them, I thought I kind of wanted to make it like a singular line more, like not a mohawk, but the horse. When I see a horse, I just see the hair coming down the middle. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so I didn't go 3 across quite as much. I just worked my way down and kind of went a little bit to the side to give them some alternating sides. And up here you do like 10 chains to make the bangs. But down here, I think I came to 17 chains when I was doing these guys down here. And then the tail, I'm not in love with the tail. Don't come at me for the tail, please. What she did was she just braided some strands of yarn. So I took 9 strands of yarn and sort of tried to tie them up at the top. And then I did a braid of 3 strands each. And then you leave a little bit of, you know, the loosey-goosey tail down here, whatever. But up at the top here, I only used 2 of the strands to actually tie it onto the horse. And then I trimmed the rest. So I'm not sure that I like how it looks. And as far as the video goes, it's right at the end of the video where she's showing you the tail part. So she doesn't go into that much detail about it. I guess if you wanted to do some curlies, you could, I don't know, do one long curly. I don't know if that would look right or not, but I've seen other horse projects where you just use strands. You just cut long strands of yarn and it kind of looks weak in comparison to this. So I don't know if I told myself I'd try that next time, and then I don't know. I copied another pattern to do a different horse, but I'm kind of stuck on whether I want to do it or not, because she calls it a no-sew, and then you get all the way into the pattern, and then she goes, and then you have to make the muzzle and sew that on separately. Don't clickbait me. I was a little bit frustrated at that part, but I'm already invested like 75% of the pattern, you know, writing down what I'm supposed to do. So I may do that. I've been trying to think about how I could make the muzzle as I go. To, you know, she's got the head and the body is all one part. So she considered that a no-sew thing, but you still have to add, you make the muzzle and then sew it on, and I'm not feeling that yet. So we'll see how it goes. So yeah, so this was a present for my granddaughter. They had the pre-K graduation last night. It was so fun. They did a little song in sign language. I couldn't really hear all the words, but she did all of the motions correctly, or, you know, as much as 5-year-olds do. You know, some of them were just in a whole nother world dancing over on the side of the stage. Some, like, she was really, really into it, and she knew all the parts. And so I was really pleased with her for that. And it was really sweet because when they came into the auditorium, they came in, you know, lines of 2 with a teacher up in the front, and our girl was in the very back of the line. So we got her very specifically, like on the film, and she sees us and waves. It's super cute. And then, so they go up and they did the presentation, and then the principal called each of them across the stage one at a time, just like a high school graduation, and said what they wanted to be when they grow up. And then they would stop with their little certificate and take a photo. It was so sweet. And then on the way out, our girl was the first one in her line, and, you know, holding teacher's hand. And she, when she reached her mom, she just ran to her and gave her hugs, and her brother, and kisses and loves, and kind of held up the whole rest of the line. So we had to go, oh, go, go, go. It was so sweet. So I made this to give to her, and I wanted to bring it last night and like give it to her in front of everybody, but I felt like that was more about me than about her. And, you know, a lot of people had like flowers or little balloon things to give to their person, and there was enough going on. She didn't need an extra goodie. So I'll give this to her when she comes over next week, and I'm sure she is going to love it. So I was looking at, so I was sort of inspired to do the horse, and you know, our neighbor has a horse, and we're super close with our neighbor as far as, you know, working on the road together. They give us their eggs. I've made them chickens. I've given them a bunny, you know, crochet stuff that I've made. And so I see they're beautiful. They have a beautiful, beautiful horse, Belle, that is out in front, and we see her all the time, and she's beautiful. And I wanted to make a horse for their daughter. They have more than one child, and I'm not sure of all their children, and so I just make stuff and give it to them. They can decide which child gets it or which child takes it. It's going to be on them. It's not on me. So I want to make a horse for them, but I don't want to make it in a funny color. I want to make it in the colors of their horse. And so, for example, like the feet, their horse has some white socks that are different on each of the feet. So some might run up in a line the way the line up on the nose, you know. So I wanted to get out there secretly and take a really good picture of what her feet look like. And she does have the white across the nose. She's a beautiful, beautiful brown color. So I do want, I'm like back and forth. Should I be a big deal about it? Because then it has to be right. Or if it's just in a funny color, it's just a toy. Like, I go back and forth. I can't decide what I want to do. I do have enough yarn of these two colors. This is the fuzzy from Lindy that I used to make my elephant. So this beautiful gray color is the gray that I have here. And so I have 2 cakes of this and 1 left of this. So I clearly have enough to make another one of these horses for them. But that's not the colors of their horse. I definitely want white, and I definitely want a brown that's closer to their horse color. This is getting closer because it's like that shiny as opposed to the muted color. This isn't coming out very good, but this isn't enough, and I don't have any white, and it's too dark. So I've kind of been back and forth on what I want to do with that. If I want to do it at all, like, I get to the point where I want to do a gift, and then I go, ooh, it won't be right. Never mind, never mind, never mind. And I don't want to be like that. I want to be proud of the work that I do, whether it's going to be right or what. Like, so much interpretation involved here. Like, I'm sure that they would love it anyway, you know? I don't know. I go back and forth. So today is Friday. It is date night with my husband, and I told him we are going to Hobby Lobby. They're on a 30% off sale this week. And so I'm going to go ahead and try to find a good brown to match their horse and a white that would go with it. In addition to the Lindy there that I've got, this was other from Hobby Lobby, but again, it's brown that's way, way, way too light. So this is a 6 as well. I know that some of these like plushy yarn, chenille yarn, whatever, come in a smaller yarn, a smaller weight of yarn. I was at Michael's and they've got something. I wasn't interested in it at the time, so I didn't take too much note, but now that I want to talk about it, I wish I had. I think it was by Loops and Threads, and I think it was a 4 in this plushy. So I think that if I don't find anything at Hobby Lobby that I want to get, I think that finding that at Michael's opened my eyes up for a smaller weight yarn at Hobby Lobby. I think that their selection is going to be greater. So I believe I'll be able to find something there. If not, I can go back to Michael's, and I think I found something that I might settle on in memory. I'll have to decide that. Otherwise, you'll just find me next week with no other horse for my friends, for my neighbors. What else? Just the pre-graduation, my no-sew. I did pick up I started to tell you last week about my very tedious project that I'm working on right now, and I had to, after I recorded telling you about how difficult it was, and I put it down, and I had to just pick up something else and work on that for a little bit. I do still have my C2C baby blanket that I'm working on with that DK weight yarn that is different. 2 shades of yellow and 3 shades of blue that I'm putting all multi-row color, mix and match or whatever. That is still in the background that I can work on when I'm need my brain to shut off for a minute. But so this morning I did pick up that very tedious shawl and start working on that again. And oh my gosh, I found 4 shells back. I found that I went into the wrong stitch. So I did frog those 4 shells. And I don't know if I said it or not in last week's video, but the shell that I'm working on, one shell has 24 stitches in it. And then the next shell is something different. And so then the next shell is the 24 stitches again. So it takes me a lot of time to go back and read what is in that 24 stitch count. It's very, like, I can't watch TV. I have to just be quiet and be focused. So that means like not working on it when hubby's up, you know, more talking or whatever. So it's really, really narrowed down my time frame when I can work on that. And so it's going to take me longer, I think, than I would like it to. But that's where they are. That's where we are with it. I'm giving myself some focus and working on that. So, all right, guys. I don't know if I said it already. I have recorded this about 4 times. I started to have a coughing fit in one of them, and I kept just stopping like I was going to be able to edit it, and then forgot completely what I said. So when you have to re-record like that, the end result could be really choppy because you don't know if you remembered to tell everything, or if you repeat yourself and forgot that you already said that previously, or if that was in a previous version and that you're not using, like, oh, woe is me in this difficult filming, right? Okay, I do want to offer an apology for anybody who is seeing a Band-Aid on my finger. I am losing a fingernail. I had a bit of an ouchie. I'm going to be a grown-up and use official words here. I had a bit of an ouchie, and it worked its way underneath my fingernail, and my fingernail started to lift. So it's coming off, and I'm going to stop getting my nails done. I'm not like all that when it comes to beautifying myself, but in starting my videos, I knew that I really wanted my nails to look nice if I'm touching yarn and pointing things out and putting my fingers in your face. So we're going to go through a period of Amy not having nails, and I don't want to make a big deal out of it. I'm probably not going to talk about it again, but I just wanted to put it out there in case anybody saw my really ugly Band-Aid in today's video or any upcoming videos. I really apologize for that because that's not lovely at all. So yesterday was an impromptu day off. With the pre-K graduation going on, daughter-in-law asked for some hours off, and they gave her the whole day off. So I quick put in for the day off as well, and hubby and I drove down to Caledonia. It's just about an hour or so, hour and a half away from us, and it's a cute, 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 cute little town. Like, if you blink, you miss it. There's little antique stores and a cute little hot dog place. And the main antique store is like a mercantile. That they've got candy, like when you go in and you order bulk or you buy bulk candy. So I want one of these taffies and one of these chocolates and one of these like that kind of mix and match bulk candy. And then they've also got tons of retro candy that you haven't seen these wrappers in a very long time. Or if you ever even knew about the candies, like being from California, there might be some retro things to the Midwest that we didn't know about. So they've got stuff like that. But the main reason we wanted to go in there was because they've got homemade ice cream. And so we each got a scoop of the most delicious ice cream. He had butter pecan, and I had a coffee flavor with chocolate espresso bits all mixed in it. Oh, it was delicious. Delicious. So then you can go up these stairs, and along the outside rim, I guess, of the inside rim of the store. You're inside the store, but it's along the walls. There's a little walkway that you can walk around and shop, and then nooks and crannies of little places that you can go into to shop. But we sat down there to eat our ice cream and then walked around, and it was a lot of fun. So that was a nice little impromptu day off yesterday, and we enjoyed it very much. It was beautiful weather for it. And then today is kind of gray and starting to want to rain. I don't know, I think we rained a little bit overnight. But yeah, so that's my video for today. I hope everybody's doing well. Have a wonderfully blessed day, and I hope you'll come back and see me again. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.